And Daniel, I mean, just you've walked the journey. You started a couple of businesses. You've always struck me as just having that natural entrepreneurial mindset. I know you put in a lot of hard work. I know there were days when you had to struggle through as well, and you probably make it look easy. But just talk to us about walking out of varsity, looking at the corporate world, the business world. You were back there. I mean, you spoke about iFactory just now as a company that you worked for, but people don't know is that you built iFactory. You're employee number one or number two or number three, and you built it up to a couple of hundred employees, sold it off successfully. So just, kudos to you. And what about the early stages, and I appreciate the encouragement and that to Sayantha, but what was your mindset, going into that? Did you always visualize yourself as getting to that next level and having the mentors and the sponsors and support that you talk about? But what practically were the steps that you took to have that success?
Okay, that's so if you write, I'm sure you've said to everyone out there in your coaching, if you write down in front of you on a piece of paper, and Sayantha, I want you to write this down as well, job, and put a dot between the J and the O. And the job stands for just over broke. And when you start your own business, you get so much more than just starting a business. You've bought yourself freedom, but more, you've bought yourself a means for generating wealth. And I don't think we think about that enough. And wealth can be in many forms. One of them is currency, is money. The other one is time. And time buys you an advantage over people who are working 8 to 5, because you can try new things. It's not that you're brighter than anyone else. It's just you can try things. And when we started, I've been very blessed to have business partners my whole life who, I don't even know the bank details. I can't log into the bank. Richard and Tanya look after that, because that's not my role, and I trust them implicitly. I'm not saying that to everybody. Don't trust all your partners. Trust is no control. But so we had this little trifecta that was going on, and my role is outward facing. I'm looking out. I don't need to look back. And Rich and Tan were looking back to make sure that they don't need to look forward. And that was one of our principal foundations, is we're going to find something that we do well, and we're not going to do anything else. And we were working all the time on the mantra of, is that what we're working on? We read Good to Great. And there's a plethora of books out there about how to start your business. I recommend that you have a something that you can build on when it comes to running the business. I'm not talking about the service you offer. If you're getting into photography, that is a means for your business. That's what you hang your coat on. But the structure of your business is one of service delivery. It's one of financial services. It's something about that. And then you need this foundation that you tie into it. And we took Good to Great, and Good to Great's principle is, what do we do better than anyone else? And what are we going to stick to? And it means sometimes making tough calls on walking away from potential money, because it's outside of what do we do and what do we do the best. And if we can, and it's so hard, especially when you're over that first curve. So getting back to it, so I was outward facing, selling. It did mean that Rich and Tanya had to do some uncomfortable things, and they had to go into consulting and, deliver the work that we were doing. And we were always looking at sustainability. So how do we sustainability is, we want to sell sustainable, repeatable business all the time of a standard that we get to. So once we had identified what it was, then it's quite easy to come around the table as 3, as 5, as 10 to say, how are we sticking to that mantra of what we are doing in what do we do better than anyone else? And what the difficulty is not in those first 6 months or year, Pete. It's when you start being successful and people are noticing, then they think that you can do other things, and that's the cardinal sin. It's like dating two people at the same time. You just can't give your full attention to both of them. You know, you date one person, you marry one person, you stick with one person, you be loyal to that person, they're loyal to you. When you philander, you run into trouble. So, and that's how I think from a business perspective, you've got to be radically focused, radically involved, passionate believer. And then when somebody tells you you're doing the wrong thing, listen with half an ear. Because sometimes you might be so radically focused that you miss out that you've got a cuck product, and then you know, you shouldn't be there. So, and then
be grateful. Be grateful when you've got somebody that taps you on the shoulder. Daniel, and so just quickly to Noah, absolutely pop the link out there so they can hop on and join us now and listen to this wonderful conversation. But then also the recording will be available at the same link. And we've shared Sayantha's business. And Sayantha, you've already got, I think, one customer in terms of Kyra. So she says she loves your products. So just fantastic, guys. This is what we're all about here, is just to help you succeed.